night and watch hentai all the time with my soul is tormented by a succubus. Call assist, pencil dripping from the way I spit. Fell in love with this. Sis got music, now she in my...
The Will of the Crown. Oh my god, this anime is it. Vinland Saga is my anime of the year, okay? It's the anime of the year. Kimetsu no Yaiba has my episode of the year because Kimetsu episode 19 is the best episode hands down this year. But Vinland Saga, for me personally, it is the anime of the year because it just keeps getting better and better every episode. You know, it had a bit of a slow start, you know, which is what usually happens when you have an epic story. You know, this kind of stories are epic in nature. They have a long journey ahead. They usually start off slow, introduce the ethos of the world, try to introduce the philosophy that this world lives by, the people in this world, in this tale live by, before you start going into the real meat of the story. This is how usually most epics, you know, begin. Most epics are told. And Vinland Saga definitely follows that formula, okay, definitely. We saw in the beginning, you know, his dad Thor's, you know, his philosophy of what it means to be a true warrior. They introduced that at early stages. They had to take a few episodes to really make you understand why he believes that, you know. You might not agree with him, but they had to establish why he believes that. And now with that ethos placed down, you know, the whole what it means to be a true warrior, after that, every other episode begins to build on that, okay? You have people who don't believe that, people who are searching for that truth. You have his son who has lost his way, you know, basically gone against his father's wishes and they're not trying to find a way if he can somehow get back to finding the truth of what his father meant, okay? And we've seen that in the past episode, you know, the monk, the priest dude, he searches for the meaning of love, okay? And we saw when Thorfinn told him what he believed, what his father said was a true warrior, you know, which is not having a sword in hand, okay? You don't need a sword to be a true warrior. He believed that was love. And when he told that to the prince, Kenneth took that and ran with it, okay? That's where we saw the whole death is love thing. And also that, you know, love, what we believe to be love is not really true love because human love by nature is discriminatory, okay? You cannot, when you love something, usually it means you love one thing more than another thing. So in that sense, there's already a discrimination. So it's not love, okay? That's what this guy, the priest, believes. And Kenneth took that on and, you know, kind of molded it to suit his own beliefs, which is that if death is supposed to be love, because, you know, in death, there is no discrimination, then that means that the planet itself is love because the planet gives freely to all people. The planet doesn't judge where you're from, who you are. You know, the land is just there and all beasts, all manner of mankind, both mankind, beasts, everything we can take from the earth, it's full bounty, and, you know, we're supposed to die and give back to the earth. That is supposed to be the cycle. But what happens is because of humans and because of the way we are in nature, we began killing each other. We began fighting over the bounty of the earth. And, you know, Kenneth is basically like, this is not love. So I am going to create, his goal now is to create a world where love exists. And one thing we saw is that he now believes in God, which is very interesting because usually you have these characters who once believed in God and then when things happen and then they stop believing in him or they go atheist. But in Kenneth, we see someone who actually believes that God exists. He actually believes that he's going to get called up by God, not by the Valkyrie system. Now, he don't believe in the Valkyrie system. He believes that he's going to get called up by God, but he now because of what he has seen, because of what his shall I call it, enlightenment, he basically says, all right, look, I am going to create this world that everyone can live in peacefully. I'm going to force, no matter what it takes, I'm going to be a demon if that is what it takes to make this world a reality, no matter how much pain people have to kill. And while I'm doing that, one day I'm going to die and go to heaven. and I'm going to tell God that, yo, we don't need you. We don't need your trials anymore because my paradise is on earth. Because there's this thing about Christianity where a lot of preachers tend to push it as earth is not paradise. When you're earth is just a big trial, and then when you die, you go to heaven, and then that's where the paradise is. But he is saying, no, our paradise is on earth, and I'm going to make this paradise here. Okay, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to make this paradise here. Screw whatever comes later. Okay, and because of that strong, you might say controversial belief, that drives him to now. It's not his new driving force to go ahead and try to fight his father. And now going to the father. Okay, we saw her father say something very interesting. Father talks about the will of the crown in this episode. And this is something which we see in real life. Okay, now he says the will of the crown is basically, you might wear the crown. Okay, you might be the king and everything. But the problem is when you wear the crown, because of the amount of power you get, you can command tens of thousands of people. You can go out and get wealth from so many different lands. You stop thinking about, bettering the people and stuff like that, because the crown has this power, this enticement, which most people cannot, resist. And he mentioned that the only two things the crown wants from everyone who wears it, which is, so use its power to make it strong. So protect the crown and make it stronger. So go out and get as many things that'll make the crown position stronger. And, it harkens back to that whole Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility, all of that beautiful talk. Because when you have all this power within you, many people cannot, handle the responsibility that comes with it. Because we hear stories like this all the time. A kid makes a lot of money from, maybe he makes a music video or something, makes a shit ton of money. And when that money comes in, he suddenly finds out a lot of power. He can go here, order anything he wants, go over there, tell someone to do things. And then people begin to have this bitchy attitude because they got all this power and all this money. And it's that thing, the power, there's this, twist that comes with power, with money. And it's very easy to get sucked into it. And with most kings, most people, even in real life, we tend to make that mistake. We tend to let ourselves get sucked away by power. We tend to let ourselves get seduced by all this power. And it's not easy to resist, I'll tell you. It's not at all. But, it's not all hope isn't lost, because Kenneth, our hero, he has a vision, a very strong vision. And this is one thing that can help you resist the power of the crown. If you have a strong enough vision, it's easier to, resist the urge to abuse the crown's power, okay? Or rather fall prey to what the crown actually wants you to do. So now Kenneth goes on, he challenges the king, which is one thing I'm happy they showed in this episode, which is, even though Kenneth has, grown over the last 2 episodes or so, from the moment when he got a revelation of what love is, he doesn't become OP suddenly. He's not immediately the wisest person in the room. He's not immediately the smartest, strongest person in the room, because he makes a bold-faced decision to provoke the king. Because he's feeling proud. He's feeling on top of the world right now. He has a very strong vision. And even though later kind of makes it out like, the king will never have killed him, just question all that, there's this thing about anger where if you annoy someone in power enough, they can kill you. They will kill you and deal with the consequences later. So I honestly believe that if Askelaad had not intervened when he did, well, Kenneth would be gone. The king would have killed Kenneth right there. What prevented him from doing that was what Askelaad said when Askelaad brought in the generals and was like, if you kill Kenneth now, Kenneth has a very big achievement because he took away Thorkel. Because if you remember, Thorkel was single-handedly holding down London, okay? And Kenneth has basically stolen Thorkel away from London, which will now make the eventual occupation of London so much easier. So this is a very big achievement, and Askelaad basically uses that to state his case, which is, you cannot kill this kid just because he's being arrogant right now, because this is the achievement that he has made. And if you don't, if you kill him despite his achievement, it's gonna make your generals feel uneasy later on, and which is a very strong point, very logical point, and that limits the king's, should I say, range, what he can do, because they have brought the generals into it. If you see went ahead and killed this kid, regardless, there would have been a problem, because generals would be like, oh, you don't care about us and stuff like that, So that was a very good thing. And I love the fact that they keep, I know they say this is, so I know people think Thorfinn is supposed to be the main character of the story, and they'll be mad that they don't really show Thorfinn doing much. But the point, this isn't just Thorfinn's story, this is Vinland Saga. It is the saga of these Vikings trying to get a new home in England, in Vinland, basically. And what that is going to tell is a lot of intertwining characters. This isn't Naruto. The name isn't called Naruto, okay? It's not called Thorfinn, right? It's Vinland Saga. So it's going to be a long saga, and I'm sure eventually Thorfinn is going to have his own role in the limelight. But right now, this is basically the Askelaad story so far. It's like the swan song to Askelaad, like the ballad. I'm going to call this first season, or maybe, I'm not sure how to end, maybe into the next season. Basically, the Ballad of Askelaad. It's basically what he's going to do, how much he can accomplish before he dies, and I've just loved every second. Askelaad's smart, Askelaad's wits, and the fact that they've shown that this episode shows that he's not heartless, basically. He doesn't like the Vikings, he doesn't like their culture, but he's not heartless. We see when he's talking to Atli, he tells Atli, look, I'm gonna give you this gold, go home, raise some sheep, whatever, live a good life, die in your bed, never pick up a sword again. And I think the reason he has that, why he says that, is because of what Thors did in the beginning, where Thor's like, I'm never going to use a sword. And that's kind of, it's still affecting Askelaad till now. I think that it was also one of the turning points of Askelaad, I feel. It's just, I love how every action, it just bleeds on down. Like I said, the ethos they put in the beginning of this season has been bleeding down to everyone, little by little. It's trickling down to everyone. I think the only person who is unaffected by it right now is still Thorfinn. Thorfinn is the only one who's blind to that ethos. Even Thorkel, as big and dumb as he is, has felt Thor's message in a way, because he talks about how he wants to find out the meaning of being a real warrior. Also, everyone is searching for that truth that Thor has found. I just love the progression, and that is why, to me, this is the anime of the year. Sorry, because it has been consistent. It's one of the few animes that just from beginning to the end is consistent. Everything bleeds slowly into the other. There's an underlying ethos that just goes through. And when you watch it, you can't help but think, like, when you watch Vinland Saga, it isn't one of those animes you watch, you're like, woo, oh my god, it's so dope, and then you forget it the next day, Now, it's, your mind is engaged, okay? Your brain is engaged throughout. And when you're done with the episode, you think about it. You can't help but digest it and, try to ruminate on what you got from the episode. And that's what I love about Vinland Saga. That's my favorite thing about this anime. If you haven't watched it, we're 20 episodes in. 20? 25? I'm not sure. I have to check. I think 20 episodes in, so go watch it, okay? It's easily the best anime this year. I feel it's gonna be a 24 episode anime, so it'll probably be done by the end of December. I think most animes these days are usually 12 or 24 episodes. So I'm guessing it has been going on a while now. So I'm guessing it will end at 24th episode. So probably done very soon. But either way, it's the bomb. It's the best anime you could have watched this year, hands down. And go watch it, enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think you can resist the will of the king or not? Do you believe that if you were in the position of the king, you'll be able to handle the responsibilities that come with the crown? Do you think you'll be able to resist the temptations that come with the crown? Can you not? Let me know in your comments. And if you like what I do here and you want to see more, support me on Patreon, follow me on Twitter, and go to Wattpad to read my novel. Okay, I write stories like this. So, go on there, enjoy my books, and I'll see you all in the next episode, next day, tomorrow. I don't know, it doesn't matter. See you all next time. This is Ren, signing out. Bye.